Welcome back to our channel, Our Vision Farm. Just wanted to give a quick update of everything that we are going to do this week. Over the weekend, we moved our cow, our steer that we are raising for meat for our family. We moved him a little bit closer. If you remember, he was all the way in the back over there, but I wanted to get him a little bit closer because just to make my life easier with feeding and watering. And he's right here next to the sheep, so he has a little bit of company. So we're just giving him hay throughout the day and feeding him grain twice a day. And he has his little water pool over there. So we did that, and then now I can go back there and start removing the fence that we put at first for the sheep to clear out the land back there. I can start slowly removing that, because what I want to do is start clearing out this side of our property and putting the sheep there, and I want to utilize the same piece of fence if possible. I'm not sure how hard it is going to remove it, to remove the T-posts that are back there. And I also want to get back there and take advantage of all of those leaves back there as well. There's a lot of natural resources, leaves, pine needles, mulch, good dirt back there. And I want to continue bringing it to our back garden over here and continue leaf mulching this back garden. I got a little bit less than halfway done just with the leaves that I raked back in our backyard. We just had a frost last night, early this morning. I think it got down to 32 degrees here in Central Florida. So some of our plants did suffer from that. We lost all of our green bean plants. But as you can see, I leaf mulched all this up till that halfway point. So that's what I got left. And I'm going to take advantage of all the leaves, the fallen leaves back there from this fall, and continue to leaf mulch my garden. At this point of our homesteading journey, I just don't cover anything anymore. I used to cover things prior to a frost when we first moved here, but even covering it, we would lose some stuff. So I just figured, why even bother? Why waste the time? Plus, it's impossible to cover every single thing that we have. We have a 5-acre property and things growing like everywhere in every little corner, and we just don't have the money to spend on the material that we would need to cover every single thing. So our fruit trees did really good. They did have like a coating of frost on them this morning, so I was kind of worried, but luckily what they say is true. They are cold tolerant, because we got to 32, I believe even 31 degrees at some point in the morning, and those didn't suffer any damage at all. The fig tree, well, this is my nectarine tree, or the peach. This is the peach tree. It's doing good. Nectarine was over there. Then I went ahead and planted the fig tree up here. That one did have a couple leaves that got a little bit more damaged from the cold. See how it's brown and a little bit wilted. So I trimmed those off, but there's still some new growth going on in there. So the tree itself is still alive. So I'm very happy that we didn't lose any of our fruit trees, didn't get any damage to them. So what I'm doing right here, I'm planting my last 2 fruit trees that we got on our last shopping trip, the 2 pineapple guava trees. So I have the holes dug. I put rocks under there, sticks under there, and leaves under there. Then I put a bucket of dirt, and then my food scraps. I did that to both holes. So all I got left is to top it off with some more dirt, put the guava trees in there, pack in the dirt super tight, add my amendments, then add the layer of mulch on top and water. I'm going to water it just a little bit because it's supposed to rain here in Florida the next 2 days. Don't want them to get overwatered, so I'm going to take it very lightly with the watering today. So just so that it doesn't get too much water in the roots with whatever rain we do get tomorrow. Another project we plan on starting this week is the Bird Aviary for the parakeets. Like I mentioned before, we're going to put that back here in our old chicken coop. So this is the old chicken coop. You can see our Everglade tomato plant has completely died down from the frost that we had. Still have some ripe tomatoes on there. The tomatoes are fine, they're not rotten, but the actual plant itself is sad and wilted. So it's probably time to pull that out. But that one was just growing wild anyway, so it's not really a terrible loss. So we are building the bird aviary right here towards the back of this chicken coop. Just to not spend too much money on this, we're just going to make it like start where this pole is right here all the way to over there, like a big rectangle shape. So if I stand firm and back, that pole is where it's going to end. So it's going to be a long and rectangular and very high up aviary. We are going to build it just using the cheaper wood, not treated wood, because we are under all this cover over here. So I figured, why waste the money on like pressure treated wood that is meant to not rot in the rain, when this is going to be fully covered. It's not going to get rain on, so I don't think it's going to get weather worn as fast. I want to spend most of the money on this project on the actual wire that we're going to wrap the cage in. I want to make sure that it's the rabbit hutch type of wire. I don't know what the name is, but it has the little squares instead of the chicken wire, because I don't trust the chicken wire for the birds. The birds won't fit through there, but I'm afraid that snakes will fit through there, or when the birds mate and eventually do have their own little offspring, the baby birds, when they start learning how to fly, I imagine can fit through those chicken wire squares. So we're not going to spend a terrible amount of money on the wood. We're just going to buy the cheapest type of wood that we can find, so we can spend the most money on this type of grid right here, the squared one, and that will keep snakes away, rodents away. And we still haven't figured out every single thing. We're just going to try to build it as we go, but I'll definitely show you guys the finished product and how that turns out, because we want that to be a nice little size aviary for us to walk in. And if we ever have farm visitors, they can walk in and interact with the birds as well. So my agenda for today is planting these 2 pineapple guava trees. This weekend coming up, we're supposed to visit another nursery that I was told has really good prices on fruit trees. So we're probably going to get our next set of fruit trees. I originally said I was going to get 2 fruit trees every month, but then I thought about it. It's not a good time to plant fruit trees here in Florida in the middle of summer, like July, August. So I kind of want to just purchase what we can now that the weather is cool. We have pretty mild winters here, and while trees are in dormant season is the perfect time to plant them. So I kind of changed my mind. I want to try to avoid planting trees in the middle of the heat of summer here in Florida, because that's almost a recipe for disaster. So I'm trying to get as much as I can get done now, so that when summer comes, I have established trees that are not going to fry in the sun on me. So I'm getting those last 2 planted now. We'll go shopping for some more this weekend. We're going to try to get the bird aviary, at least the bottom frame of it, started this week. I'll start that with the kids. And I'm going to finish mulching that back garden with whatever leaves I find back there in the woods. Also, I forgot to mention the other day, there was a deer. I was taking the dog out to use the bathroom in the front yard, and there was 2 deers right in our front yard around the area where our fruit trees were. They actually weren't doing anything to our fruit trees, but just in case, I bought this stuff. You could just find it at Tractor Supply or Lowe's. I have used this before when we had a problem with deers in our garden. And what I would do is spray this around the whole perimeter fence of our garden, and we never had an issue with deers getting in there anymore. But since the deers were pretty close to our fruit trees, although they didn't bother them or eat any leaves off of them, I'm going to spray around the area of the tree. It says it's made with whole egg solids, cloves, garlic oil. Sounds like it's pretty natural ingredients. vinegar, water, wintergreen oil, fish meal. I know the stuff is pretty stinky, so I'm not going to spray the actual tree with it. I don't want to harm the tree in any way, but I'm going to kind of go around and spray it around the, like maybe on the outside area of the mulch. And if I do have issues with deers eating the leaves and the foliage of the top of the trees, I might spray that on the leaves and just see what happens. Maybe I'll test this little spot and see if it affects it. But this is highly recommended. I've had experience with this, with keeping animals away from our garden, just by spraying it like on the fence and on the fence posts around it. I've never actually sprayed it on the plant itself, so that will have to be a little experiment on its own. But I bought it just to, like I said, spray around the area and try to deter all these type of critters away from our fruit trees, because I definitely do not want to lose any to deers. So, and that is a common problem. So just wanted to share that little tidbit with you guys. All right, let me get these 2 last trees planted for today. That is all the farm work that I'm going to try to get done today. But just wanted to let you know what I was planning on doing for the rest of this week. Today is Monday, so hope you guys enjoyed this update and continue following along our channel to watch us grow. And we hope that we are encouraging you to also, even if you have a small property or a large property or a 5-acre property like us, I hope we're encouraging you to consider starting to grow your own garden, started to grow your own food, maybe plant a fruit tree, maybe plant some flowers or raise some animals on your property. So that is what we're here for. We're here to learn with you guys and hopefully teach you guys something as well. There's always something new to learn. We're learning daily, and we hope to share everything that we learned with you guys, especially if you are here in Florida as well. All right, guys, let me get back to work. I'll see you guys in the next video.